Peace to the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat Podcast. Peace to the gang, and welcome back to Quit the Cat Podcast. It's your boy BP,
Yes,
alongside the Bishop.
Yes, sir.
And we just want to say hello to everybody
All
and
right,
welcome
all
back to
right,
another
all right.
episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First, we're going to start it off by saying Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Holidays
Yes.
to everybody. And since we started it like that, how was your Thanksgiving, bro?
My Thanksgiving was good. It was quiet. We watched some football, chilled with just my immediate family, my
Right.
family, and we just enjoyed each other. Did I fall asleep? I don't know. I think I watched every game. I think I was up, watched every game.
I tried to watch every game. I think I missed the last one.
Did I see every game? See, that's how you know.
Yeah.
I think I did watch every game. So yeah, it was good. It was good, quiet. Everybody ate. Everybody was cool.
Enjoyed.
Yeah.
That's good. That's always the fun
It
part.
was cool. It was
Yeah,
good.
the holidays.
No complaints.
I'm not a big holiday guy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm just like, it's just another day. But my daughter did come up.
Okay.
We kicked it.
Okay.
It was me and my lady. We cooked. Her sister and
Okay.
family and niece and nephew came over.
Okay.
We all just kicked it. So that was fun for real.
Okay.
For real. Other than that, it was a chill
Okay.
day.
Have a family affair.
Yeah, it was
Got
a family
Yeah.
affair. I was super excited. I was like, yo, I'm trying to invite all the family. Like, yo, y'all coming for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
My girl like, yo, you inviting people like you about to cook something. I'm
Mm.
like, but I'm, you know what I mean? I ain't,
You normally cook though, right?
I made the turkey the last couple years,
Okay, yeah.
but I don't normally cook. She does much. She started cooking everything.
Yeah, that image of you molesting the turkey is still in my head. That's what
Only pans.
Yeah, the only pans John where you was molesting the turkey. That has been
Yo.
ingrained. I think that's when I stopped eating turkey.
Listen,
I think that's when the moment I said,
and this may be the year
Yeah.
I stopped, because after I was holding the turkey and I picked it up and it was like a baby, and I was like, yo, this is wrong. Like, this is wrong. Like, we done chopped off the head and the neck and
that's
just
crazy.
chopped his butt out, and I'm like, I'm holding. I'm like, this is terrible, bro. I don't know. I don't know how much longer this big turkey
Not a
baby,
turkey baby.
not a turkey baby, but
Yo,
it was a great day
That's
nonetheless.
good,
You know
yeah,
what I
it's just kicking
mean?
it with family, man.
And that's
you know.
all that matters.
I think we have come. Things have become. What I want to say is it too? I don't want to call it political. I see people getting offended like by people celebrating Thanksgiving, or so I look at it like, regardless you want to say Thanksgiving or the meaning or where it comes from,
Right.
things like that. I just look at it as another opportunity of reconciliation with your family.
Yes,
To be able to eat and to sit down and to be able to do things together and not look at it so much deep. You know, I am. It's crazy because it's like there's no intimacy to me with holidays and family, because it seems like
Right.
everybody lives online.
Yep.
The whole holiday, like everything has to be
They gotta
recorded.
post
Some
everything.
people, every meal, I put this in here, this is in there, and I think we lose sight of the moment,
Right.
Because we're always inviting social media to our moments,
Right.
And you don't really get to enjoy the fullness of the moment, or even make it intentional, because I think a part of our brain is so much that we have to show the world this.
Right.
This person came over here, and this is this is this, and it's like every movement is documented, which is fine, but I think we lose out on moments when we're constantly engaged and trying to keep the social media world involved in something that could be a little
Right.
bit more intimate.
I feel like because people aren't fully committed to the moment.
Yes.
Like, it's good to record it, and
Yeah.
we all do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like, let me record myself.
Yeah.
But when you think about yourself in that moment, are you really fully in that moment? Because you're like, I'm just doing this for the camera right now.
Yeah.
So when that camera goes off, you got to really dig into that, and you don't really get to dig into it with the camera rolling unless you have somebody else running the camera for you,
right.
which most of us don't. So it's
Yeah.
like we push play and we push record and we
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
and you like, all right, let me do this. Like, I put out a video the other day, like it did interfere with my workout, because I'm like, I gotta run back, stop the thing, run. I'm like, no, just keep working
Right.
out. But I wanted to make the video, so it's like,
I think it's okay. Well, I'm condemning and stamping at the same time.
right.
I say that on the workout aspect of it, because it's like not engaged. You're taking away from your moment,
Right.
not so much with your family and things like that.
Gotcha.
I think that you can do, but you have to do the full workout after. Like, I'm okay. I feel like when it comes to recording videos, working out, I feel like get the recorded stuff out of the way and then really dig into the workout.
Right.
And not so much worried about having to try to record and post during workouts that are like supposed to be locked in. And
Right.
sure you have that mind and body connection. So I feel like you can make the videos for your peers and things to see, and that's what I do. I'll go through one round and I'll record it.
Right.
But I'm going to make sure I do the other 4 rounds fully, and
that's
sure
how I did it. Yep. I did the first round
yeah.
like that, and I was like, "This is taking too long."
So it's just to give some content that yes, I'm working out. Yes, I'm being committed to my goals. I think that's what it's about. I think it's become a thing of just showing your commitment.
Right.
You know, some people do it for the likes and do it for, hey, look at me. But I think some people you can tell when it's just showing you that, okay, I'm being committed. This is me being committed.
Right.
I worked out today. Okay, so can you.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
And
so can you.
I don't find nothing wrong with it. Just as long as you do the real workout
after
that. But yeah, that was good because we worked out Thanksgiving morning. You know, and I know the people that work out normally know, okay, I'm a work out, so then that way I'm going to not feel bad when I eat.
When you pig out, you got to work out to pig out.
So I deserve it. So, you know, and I feel like, hey, it goes hand in hand. So
absolutely. But that was just, you know, it's a good recap on the Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But let's get back into this recap of this podcast we did last week with Eskimo, man.
Yes.
That was a good podcast.
Yes.
A lot of people was like, yo, that joint was dope. I ain't know all that. And I'm like, we didn't either.
And I love his energy, and I love just sharing and just the way of the bounce back, because I did want to see where he was at mentally, with like seeing things that where he could have been.
His energy was good.
Mistake, yes, and now and then get to see him getting back to doing what he does. So it was just good to hear the story, because I was always wondering what happened, and the transitioning from the house burning and then the situation and then him getting locked up, and now he's back, and just looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing forward in the future.
I had somebody tell me they thought he was the boogeyman, because they was like they kept hearing about him, but they never seen him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, nah, he's cool as hell. Like, what you mean? Like, he real cool. He said, nah, I ain't say he wasn't cool. I just had never seen him, and they kept talking about him. So I was like, that's dope that your name precedes you. Even be like, it was never nothing bad. But when a lot of people, when somebody hears your name from several different people, and it's always in a good light, you gotta respect that. So I think that's awesome. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I know we all rooting for him. We want him to win.
Yes, absolutely.
And we just know what he's capable of.
So I'm just thankful that he was our guest, and I know our first guest, and then we'll have him again down the line, because I know
that story's gonna grow.
It's gonna be, we're gonna be back to rolling and getting foot back to where he needs to be. So
right.
It's definitely gonna be good. Let me say this. I made this microphone stand. So I just wanted to give.
I wish we had an applause joint. We could hit the applause button.
Give myself credit for rigging this microphone stand. Like, this is my microphone stand. She's
former
here.
mic stand.
Yeah, she's a mic stand, and I gave her legs.
Ingenuity, ladies and gentlemen.
She no longer needs a table to stand. I gave her legs. So I just wanted to give. I like to celebrate things that I figure out and that I make.
And I think that's dope, because how much it took you some time to come up with that. It wasn't like you were just like, yo, I know what I'm going to do. You had to sit and you had to accomplish, so you had to figure out a problem.
I wanted to be tableless.
Right.
I wanted us to be tableless.
Yes, you've been saying that since day one.
I found a way to save money and to make sure that we were tableless. Like, I can kick my feet out. You can't see me, I'm kicking my feet out.
He's kicking his feet out, ladies and gentlemen.
So I made a way that we removed the table and I could kick my feet out. So y'all that's listening on audio, I kick my feet out, and y'all that can see us. You see me kick my feet out.
You see it.
Kick my feet out.
You see it. Do you celebrate even the smallest accomplishments? How do you feel about celebrating just the smallest accomplishments to the biggest ones?
I did a little video. I'm glad you asked that question, because our brains are triggered to look for more things to celebrate. And if you look at even the thing that might be the smallest, and you celebrate that, you have that wow moment. You give yourself that. I am big on creating emotions, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, about creating emotions, because a lot of things that we want and strive for in life, what we want from it is attached to that emotion.
That's it.
It's not so much the material thing, it's how we feel, when we achieve or buy such things.
Yes.
So I have been in my life recently of late is really locking in mind and body to create those moments instead of always needing something material or needing something to keep me feeling like I'm succeeding or going forward. What I do is I lock in on creating those emotions so that I can feel those emotions and them emotions that are a part of my everyday life. So that's why I treat things that's so small as a big celebration, so that way it makes me feel good.
Right.
So when I create something or put something together, it might be something that was broke over here and then I take something over here and I look at both of those and I actually come up with the fact that, oh, I can put these together and make something. That's a wow moment for me. That is using my left side of my brain to be creative and to come up with something that wasn't something and I made it something, and then now it works for me. So I celebrate those, so that way I get to feel that moment and I look for those things to create or those things to figure out, even if it's small things. Like it might be something in a book that I might read and I'll be like, wow.
Right.
You know, and I keep that wow moment, and it's like I want to share it, so I share it, and it becomes even more memorable to me, just even if it's out of a book or figuring something out. So I think I'm at that stage where no matter the minute of a thing, it's big to me.
Right.
So it's easy to be pleased with the simple things of life than have to rack my brain or go into this mode of feeling like I haven't made it or I'm not going to make it, because I'm measuring myself by big measurable things and trying to get those things and then start to feel it. And then start feeling, causing emotions of defeat or making myself feel like, dag, what am I doing? You start to feel unworthy because you're trying to figure out, and that's what like I said, we're going to go into that about thinking about how I'm going to do these things, how instead of just being thankful in the moment with what you have
and being open to them to come to
and then allow. It's like knowing that you're worthy and you don't have to press yourself.
Right.
You know,
it's a confidence booster.
Figuring out. So I think the smallest of victories helps you to have gratitude and be thankful for
major
things that's to come. So I feel I'm really big on, if you can appreciate the now, then you'll know how to relish in the things that are, when you know, there's like it'd be like miracle almost,
right?
You know, because everybody's miracle to them is going to be different, you know. So you know, somebody give you a Beamer or a Bentley, and that's why I say, so even thinking on that, how would that feel if somebody just gave you the keys? Like, you can sit in meditation and actually think of how it would feel unlocking the door to your house. How it would feel, and then you can do the details to that house and actually sit and meditate on that,
and everything in
and on that feeling. And when you feel that feeling, like I truly believe, and I've been learning that when you feel that feeling, you create that moment. So it's like you already had the celebration. So now you done put something that you believe in your heart. So now you speak it. You can receive it because you truly believe that you're worthy of that thing.
Absolutely.
Why? Because you had the experience, you felt the emotion. So I have been learning that, and I've been big on that. You know, so it was like a lineup of being in the basement, knowing that my day was coming, to be out of that situation, being out of my basement training, to when we got in here, I allowed both moments to come together and to feel the. It was like a rush. And I relived that feeling because I focused on it so much every time I walk in here. So it feels new every time I walk in here. And I do not allow myself to overthink it. I embellish in that. I feel that gratitude. Like I pray in the morning when I walk in here. Like I give gratitude, I give thanks, I openly confess how much I appreciate what I have, what I know, what I'm capable of. And before I leave, that same feeling floods that I thank God. And it's a celebration, not in fear of making sure I have to pray so that I don't lose it or just
right.
Because that's not my mission. That's not my energy. So it's definitely a celebration of being thankful for what I have and what I was able to accomplish. So we can give thanks to a higher power, but a lot of I am the God.
Yeah.
God is in me.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that.
Lined myself up to do the work, to be diligent, to be disciplined, to make something that was so far-fetched, I didn't know how, that it happened. And, and I have people that are blessed attached to this, that help make this possible. So, and that's a lot of celebrating, like your video about the car.
Right. Yes.
Yes. And that was big to me. The video about the car. Like he did a video about a car, and I'll let you explain it a little bit before I tell your story.
Yeah.
But,
so I didn't have a car for years.
Yeah.
And I was down bad. I had to walk everywhere.
Right.
To and fro everywhere, and it was a blessing. I have a vehicle now, but there was a time I didn't, and when I didn't, it sucked, and it was bad. It was horrible. I had to walk everywhere. It wasn't fun. I had to realize it was a blessing when I complained. Sometimes we lose ourselves and we complain about little stuff like, this joint ain't working the way I wanted to. Cool.
Yeah.
But there was a time where you didn't have anything that worked.
Right.
So you have to be grateful. You have to have gratitude.
Yeah.
That's where I appreciate the gratitude that you preach on so much because gratitude is big. And I found gratitude in that moment. Because prior to hitting that bridge, I was like, man, this John's a clunker, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And at the end of that bridge, just that fast, it was a mile away. I found gratitude quickly.
Right.
And I had to express that I found gratitude. So that's what it was.
I appreciate that because that is locking into that feeling of knowing I have enough. And that's a hard task because and this is what I like to say about that, right? And this is why it is important to have, I'm going to say, control of oneself. Control of oneself in every aspect of how you feel and how you think. So.
Powerful.
And I say that because
it makes you powerful.
There's people, a lot of us, that will look at things and want.
Mm-hmm.
Want and find fault in people that have. Like, you'll see people who's conditioned in their mind to be poor. Mm-hmm. They'll find things to frown about people that got money.
You want as if it's unattainable.
Yes. So, and that's what I wanted to talk about, thoughts and thinking. How our thoughts are thoughts. They just pop up. Right. Any thoughts, that doesn't make them true. So, and what I was learning, and from this book, Joseph Negan, I'm going to say Nugan.
Okay.
But in this book, he was saying about thoughts come. Thoughts have no merit. It's just a thought.
Right.
He said when we start to think on this thought, that's when it has an emotion attached to it. Now, this is where we put the trouble on the thoughts. Now, let's say, because people do this. Okay, your boyfriend might not be the greatest boyfriend. He might not do things that you might feel he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Now, he starts to go out. And he's just going out because you're nagging. Okay, he is a bum.
Right.
That's your bum.
That's your bum. You love him.
Yes. So now he starts to go out. And now the reason he's going out is because you're nagging.
Right.
He's not going out to cheat on you. But here, this is the thought. He's going out lately. He must be messing with somebody.
He gotta be messing with somebody.
Now, here you go. Oh, I wonder, because he was doing this. Now you're thinking on it. Now you're adding
making
things
the situation
to the
worse.
Yeah. You're adding thinking, and I got it. I said, it makes sense because we can think on something and have that whole emotion as if it happened. Oh, I'm not going to let my child go here. They might start shooting.
Right.
And hey, and
Right.
who's going to be there? Now we're thinking on it. We're making the situation worse, even though the situation might not come out like that. We're putting thought to it.
Not even that
now
deep
we
half the time.
flood our body with the emotion
Yes.
as if the event
It's
has
real.
happened.
Yes.
So now we have switched our body to this whole chemical imbalance of stress because now a thought pops in
It's
our
in
head.
a negative state.
So now here was the breakdown that I thought was so great about that situation and about what he was saying. He said, "Our thinking, if your thoughts that pop in your head are always negative, that shows you your state of conscious being."
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Now hear what I'm saying. If your thoughts are always negative, it's always something happening, or always of lack, always of this, or something that's negative. That, even though it's your thought, you don't act, that shows you your state of conscious
Yeah.
being. So if you always thinking about
You're
your
creating
past,
that person
if
as
you're
you
always,
think.
that's what
Yep.
your thoughts that pop up in your subconscious is always negative. That shows you that you live in a negative state of being.
Yes.
Now, if your thoughts always pop up and they're of good things or things that you're trying to build for your futures or ways that you can get this or things that give you energize.
Right.
If your thoughts energize you,
It's different.
then you're in a positive state
Yes.
of being. Now, how can you argue that?
You
How can you
can't.
argue that? So, and that's what I try to get people on the real, because I suffer from, well, I'm gonna say can suffer from,
Mhm.
or kind of PTSD from the streets. So
Oh, you don't kind of. That's
yeah,
real.
yeah.
That's
So
real life stuff.
if I was to allow every thought that popped up in my head when a car pulled up on the side of me, or somebody walked in front of my car, or somebody was just walking to their
Right.
mailbox behind me, if I put some thinking to all those thoughts,
If you shut down
right?
cities.
So
yeah.
I check myself when those thoughts come. I don't entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
I just brush them off and think of something else. And that's important to me because I don't want to live in a stressful state when I know no one's after me.
Right.
I'm not out here. Half of the stuff that I was doing out there, I brought onto myself anyway. I was
Right.
terrorizing. So
Right.
that's not the life I live. That's not the energy I give. So knowing those things, I'm always in a positive thought process. When I'm riding through the city of Harrisburg, it doesn't grieve me. Like I see the situations and but I am so much higher than where I'm at.
Right.
Like my environment doesn't control my thoughts.
Absolutely.
You know, if my
Absolutely.
environment controlled my thoughts, I would be stuck like some of the individuals that are
Stuck.
Yeah,
they're stuck out here.
They're stuck. You see people that look like they're in 1995. They look like they're in 1998. Their verbiage is
Listen.
still 1998. You
Listen.
can tell by even people that might be successful or show you like they're buying material things, they're building
Mhm.
a company, they're doing things. But when you hear them talk, you just like, whoa.
Ooh, Lord.
You know, you have the material
Yeah.
things, but you
You
did
ain't
not
got
change
nothing
as a
else.
person.
Yes.
Like so it shows you that your thinking process is still of yes, you're able to move and advance and buy things, but you still stay in that loop.
Yes.
You know, so then and even in that loop, how many things can you buy or how many material things do you get and you still not be happy?
You'll never be happy. You'll never be happy.
So it's shame on us if we really think that buying things is going to change the state of how we feel because it's we gonna call it facts. You can be in a car and just get it. I promise you, after a couple months, you're gonna see something that you be like, I like that.
I like that better.
I like that. But you know, some people will feel, you know, but you build gratitude for your car that you have. This is my
Yes.
baby. Like that's people like, you still got that Magnum? That's
Absolutely.
my baby.
That's
Can
my
I get
will.
another car? Yes, that's my baby. Like I am content in life with that car. Like that
Right.
car is a part of me. Like I am at a place where I'm succeeding. I have
In real life.
Yes, in real. And it's all with the emotional state of how I feel. Like I am ecstatic about my life, man. I am happy about learning. Like now, do things come in and test everything that I build and I
Mhm.
learn to grow? Yes, and I appreciate it because once again, I'll be made a fool out of my thoughts, fool out of my thinking, and seeing just how easy, even in my marriage, communication
Mm-hmm.
can fix things.
Yeah.
And it'd be so simple.
Super.
But we can think about it, add thought to the worry, add worry
Create
to the
a whole
thought.
scenario in your
and,
head.
you know, and swim through that mucky water. We can swim through it just to realize on the other side we never had to go through it. You know, we never had to go through it. And I take in those negative emotions and the way my body feels and the headache that comes with just being angry or being confused,
right,
when you really don't have to be. You know, it said people get shot with 2 arrows. The second arrow is by choice. It says that pain always comes in life no matter what.
right.
So when we already, as human beings and our intelligence already understands that pain's going to come. People's going to die. Things are going to happen. But it does not stop us from allowing ourselves to be shot with that second arrow, because pain is going to hurt.
It's going to hurt, right.
When you lose a loved one, a family member, you're going to feel that hurt. It's just us being constantly to say, I have to accept this because this is a part of life. And this is something we know that's going to happen, but it never sits well. Like, no matter how we try to get that emotion intact for the loss of a loved one or something going wrong or losing a job. And, you know, there's some people that, man, don't even understand that, dude, just quit the job. Just move on and be happy.
Listen.
There's no need to come in here and take a life. Like, but that just goes to show you that people do not take the time to get a hold of their emotional
value
self
themselves.
To know, like, yo, is my thinking?
It is thrown off.
Yeah,
and even going back to that, like, I did a little survey of myself and others around me.
Okay.
And like you said, you can tell by how people speak about how their life is, about who they are, characteristically.
Yes.
Because it's like, I'm around you, you always speak life, so therefore you see abundance.
Yes.
I know other people, they don't ever speak life, so they don't see abundance. Right. So it's like you start to see the power of the tongue and how powerful you are as a person to be able to change your life, to create your life, to build it the way you want it or the way you don't want it. You can say, this is like, I'm trying to learn the thing of creating the person that I want to be. Creating that person. What does he look like? What does he sound like? How does he behave himself? This is all stuff we can create. You don't have to go get anything material to make this stuff happen. We are powerful beings.
It's in your mind.
It's all in your mind. And it's crazy that people don't understand. Like, you dictate all the negativity, anything, the bad boyfriends, the bad girlfriends, the bad relationships with family members and friends and this. Like, you create that. And we create so much negativity in our minds. I could go, it's been times I done went through a whole story and I done made this thing the worst thing ever. And then you get to it and it's like, you idiot, this was so fun. Like,
so
why did I do that?
They always say that when we tell the stories of our past or we think on things that have happened to us so far, like trauma, it says that we rewrite it with lies. It said that we consciously add more to it.
Put some gas on it.
Yeah, it said that. It said, now, listen, look it up for yourself before you say, like, what is he talking about? Like, I done came past this in countless books, countless podcasts, where, because I kept trying to say it. And I had to think about that. Do my stories of the past, do I greenlight them? Do I add fire and make it more?
Put that smoke on it, that
so
extra swag to it.
Did that really happen that way? Were they wearing green?
Right.
Were they still?
Right. Did it really go down?
So
was it like a movie like I see in my head?
You know, it is, and all of that it's the emotion attached to it. And I feel like if we really dig in, and it's big for me, and I say this because this is something that I search for within self, is rewriting my past, rewriting the trauma, the things that, and not holding fault to people that might not have knew that were just moving in their hurt.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Because now that I know hurt people, so knowing the different things that come with understanding and grace, I look back and try to comb through and not go too much in detail or hold fault to anything, but just have peace so that way I'm delivered from things in my past. That I really,
you gotta free yourself
to them so I can hold them up in the light and really look at them. You know, so I'm big on the emotions and big on rewriting the past so that when my thoughts pop up, it's okay, what kind of exercise? Or what's the next move? Or what can I go home and do to be more loving or do more? Like, that's my mission, just to get that type of reaction from my family with my emotions, the things that I'm trying to give, so to say. So that's how I attach them on there. But I wanted to ask a question, right?
What's up?
So, give me a second. It's about the thoughts and the thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where he was saying come up with an amount of money that you will want to make a year. You got it in your head, you don't got to tell me. Mm-hmm. Audience, you can do this too.
Yeah.
An amount that you would love to make for the year. You got that amount?
Mm-hmm.
You got that amount?
You got it.
Now times it by 5.
Math ain't that good, but yeah, I can
Now,
see it.
times it by 5. Now, what he was saying, when you times it by 5, most people is going to fathom that I couldn't make that.
They couldn't
I'm not
imagine
gonna be
it.
able, and that's their thinking. That's lack.
Yes.
Because, and he was saying, when you start adding thinking to something that might sound like you mess it up, because now you start to tell yourself that I'm unworthy of that or that amount.
Or you don't believe it. Yeah.
Let's say, like, if it came out to 10 million or so to say, or 10 grand, whatever the case may be, something crazy, like whatever the
whatever the number is.
Yeah, whatever the number,
yeah.
like whatever you're going to make. We start to think that it's unreachable. We start to think of, no, that's not possible, or this is not that. So I have become to the point where I feel that what I deserve, and I just move forward in life.
Yes.
I move forward in life being happy and having gratitude with what I know my wife's going to get me on my mathematical grammar errors. Like, you always say something. But you get my point.
Yeah.
I don't focus on the how. I don't put thinking on something that is big for God. I'm going to put my thinking to that. But because I believe I deserve it. But how I'm going to come up with that, I don't know.
Right.
But I'm going to have gratitude and move graciously through life and be happy, knowing that I'm deserving, knowing that what blessing does come from the energy that I'm giving off. You know, they say you generate, you attract.
Yes.
What you feel, your thoughts create your environment. So it's like a magnet. What's for you is pulling towards you from the energy that you get. When you wish a ninja would, a ninja's going to, because that's what you hold dear in heart. I know people, I wish somebody wanted to smoke this, and they got their chance. They got their chance, and guess where they at now? You know, so you get
in
your
the
chance
woods,
because that's the energy that you radiated behind, that you give off behind that thought. You know, there's some people that's hell bent on hoping somebody and they move through life with that animosity, and everywhere they go it's almost confrontational. It's confrontational. Like, you'll see people that get online all the time and complain about other people. It's because you're confrontational. You like confrontation.
You love it.
You find things to find fault in, or to be like, it's never the other person. It's always us.
You never accept accountability.
It's always us. It's never the other person. It's always us. People, just like you gonna do what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. Now, whatever you do, whatever emotion I choose to put behind that, that's mine.
That's on your emotion,
Yes, because like we be looking at people and know that a person's a certain type of way. And we get upset that they're that way. That's how they are. Well, it's our job to make acceptance if we want to be around that person.
If that's what you're doing, rock with them or don't rock with them.
And it gets to the point where if you keep saying something, you feel like you're getting frustrated, or like, yo, you can't. You're choosing to be around that person when they're not choosing to grow, or they're not choosing to look. You make that choice, so your emotional response is still.
So that's your responsibility,
to
decide whether you're going to continue to fool that person or not.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what we have to understand as grown folks, is that everything is our choice. And the way you want it is your choice. Everything we want is our choice.
And so I say, because I am, and I like on here because I got the floor.
He said, I got the floor, folks. So let's dance.
Even with the thinking and the thoughts and your emotions, those from there, it all plays a part into our habits. And that's what I was going to ask you about. Habits. What are habits? Habits are a regular tendency Practice something that is hard to give up.
Yes.
So, people and their habits. Do your habits reflect a person of good choices?
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean,
I'm about to go.
yeah.
In my mind, yes, because as I look at myself and I
Yes.
look at my choices, I look at others and I look at their choices, it reflects clearly.
Yes.
Everything about you reflects from
Yes.
how you feel about yourself inside, how you think, how you behave, your habits. If you get up and your first thing is to roll over and look at the phone, that's your habit every day.
You know what my favorite line is? I'm just this way on social media.
Oh, no, that's cap.
It's some part in there. Listen, either you're on social media being the person you truly want to be, because then when we see you off a line, you're not that person.
Yes.
You know, there's some part of you that wants to be what you display.
Right.
Like, what else does it come from? It's your thinking. It's your thoughts.
You created it.
Yes. So when people be like, I'm not really that way, I just do that.
That's cap.
Who came up with that? You posted that raunchy meme, or you're always talking about, I'm not this sexual, but I just...
Come on, man.
Come on, like...
What
is it? Like, you know, it be women putting stuff on there now. When the ass eaters hop in your inbox, don't get, because that's what you put.
That's what you
out
putting
there.
out there. Yes.
You know, and they like, oh, don't get in my inbox. Yo, you want that? Like, this is what's coming from us. So let's like it's about. I am at a grown person's age.
A fully grown adult male.
I'm at a grown person's age where I didn't lose the childish way of playing with my kids or being a young Peter Pan type, say never land, never grow up. I can still be that type of child.
Right.
I can still have that type of fun. I still yearn for that type of energy. But to do things or say things that I don't mean, or to embellish in things that have no point for my life, I refuse to waste that kind of time.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna. I just say that on here. I just do that over here. Nah, I don't got time to pretend or
you must feel that way somehow, some way. You have to feel.
I'm not one to. If you want to believe you're the essence of something, be that. You don't gotta fake it till you make it, because the moment you become fake, you're fake.
Right. That's it.
You know, either be that, believe you that, and walk in that.
And stand on it.
You're not faking it. That's when you accept that that's who you are. That's what you do. Then.
But why do people have such a hard time accepting? Or because a lot of people, all of us, sometimes don't want to really accept who we truly are in the dark. In the dark is who we truly are. When we come to light, we all put our best face on when we get to the light. Why do people want? I mean, we know why, but people love to put. You know who you are in that darkness is who you are for real.
Yeah.
That light lets you be somebody different. But,
so, I think discernment. And discernment, they make it like discernment. Anybody that's consciously aware, to me, can have discernment. It's not. It's not. I mean, they use it in biblical terms, but discernment is like. Excuse me. It is. I'm gonna say, when it's precise and you are on the money. I feel like to have good discernment, you have to be one with yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to be a clear thinker unbiasedly, so to say, because so that you really can, and don't get me wrong, your discernment can be off sometimes, and it'll be a small factor. You can always fix it, so to say. But like, I think we see things in other people that we see in ourselves that we might not like.
Yes, I agree with that.
Know, we judge people off of it might be a freedom or something. So
I totally agree with that.
We got to be a little bit honest, like, on what we're seeing. So I like to. So I go reverse. I like to look for things in people that I see in myself.
Right.
And it's not
the
so
good, bad, or whatever, anything.
I a loud person is a loud person. You see a person come in the room and they're loud. You start to get a sense of it. You start to get a feel of, and I look in deeper where loud people, they need people to notice them. Yep. They're not too happy with who they are.
That gives them,
yes.
What is that word? It gives them empowerment.
Yeah. So I always, when I discern people, I look at characteristics and I look at different things like that. I am big on body language and reading facial expressions and seeing. That's how I check a room.
Right.
Are people smiling? Do that person look sad? Does he look angry? Like, what's wrong with him? You're supposed to be out here having a good time.
Listen.
So I evaluate the room even before I settle in. My wife be like, "You're so stoic. You're just looking." I'm casing the joint. I'm checking the energy.
I was the club scanner back in the day. Everybody else was turned up.
I gotta check the energy before I can actually relax and enjoy myself. So I am definitely on habits, right? And having good habits, and they say your routine in the morning tells a lot about the person, and your routine before bed tells a lot about a person. So habits are big when it comes to being tied in with your emotions and the way you think. The way you think is going to trigger your habits. You know, some people.
Right.
I am big on, man. I am big on our thoughts create our environment. How we feel is a reflection in the way we keep ourselves. And it's an awakening when you see, like yourself, you know, it's not perfect, but you still strive, you're still conscious.
Yes.
You're conscious and you're more freer and healthier than you were yesterday.
Yes.
You know,
a million times, yes.
And I feel like when that's the battle we're fighting. Because there's some people that's not even fighting the battle, man. I used to be tight. I'm still tight with money, but I'm talking about tight as far as not giving grace.
Right.
Giving grace because I remember I said, it got to be all in or nothing. And I remember I trained some therapists on Zoom. I trained some people on Zoom. And she was like, nah, you can't be that way. You're not allowed to, it's not allowed to be all or nothing. You can't just make it all or nothing. And I get it. You can't. Some people I done gave that grace, that ship of grace done sailed.
Right.
And it's to the point where I look at it like you rather die than to live. You rather address. It's like when you don't take care of your health, right? And it's like dressing up a corpse, so to say, because like it's not today, but how really far do you think you're going to make it in the future, right? I had this thing, man. It was and I just want to go in here a little bit because I've been thinking about this. So I said this was my thought. What happened if, when people got to heaven, God didn't let people that was obesity in?
Well,
what happened if he didn't let people that was obesity in because
he like you didn't take care of
the body that I gave you? So I look at and I hear people when they preach in the Bible and things like that, and they be like, the spirit can't live in an unclean vessel. So if your vessel was sick, high blood pressure,
right. All the ailments, we know all,
heart
diabetes,
different things like that. So that is a vessel that is sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, so how can a clean, healthy, righteous spirit live in an unclean vessel? So I just was sitting there like, am I putting too much on that? Because how, if we're to be made in an image that is pure and we're searching to be in His likeness, how come our health, to make sure our body is not in sickness, is not a priority in being in likeness with God?
Yes.
So I'd be real baffled by people that, especially from the church, that talk about sin, and you're unhealthy in your body.
Right.
Is that not a sin of neglect?
Yes.
Overeating, sitting,
as an obese person, yes, and that's something.
So
that
I was just sitting there thinking, like, what happened if God did not allow people that neglected their body into heaven for those that believe? How come that you didn't feel that there was a mandate for you to take care of your body? Like when they say this, so in science, right? They say fruits of the spirit, fruits of happiness, joy, wellness. There's a wholeness that comes from having that energy, them fruits.
Mm-hmm.
And being one and whole inside is a part of that. Your health will be, and being one with the universe, one with earth, one with God is going to take you taking care of yourself.
Right.
How can you say that you're one with God and be in the presence of God when you're sick in your body? Because you think of your sickness.
Right.
It arises. And if you were
Your
one with
sickness
God,
runs
if
your
you
life.
believe that you can be healed, but see, being healed is going to take some of your work.
You gotta work.
It's going to take you doing the
You
things
gotta do
necessary
everything, yes.
to be. Prayers without works is dead.
It's
And I'm just sitting there
dead.
like, okay, when does this apply?
Yes.
When does this? I see unhealthy preachers preaching, and I'm sitting here like, yo, you don't do the hard things. And only people that sit under uncomfortability preaching, that don't have to exert themselves to do the hard things, that's when the congregation is going to match.
Yeah.
Because really, it's just like tarrying and waiting to die. You're not going to feel blessed. You don't feel whole in your body.
You don't feel good.
You're having surgeries, multiple of them. You need things like that. Like
your body don't work how it's supposed to.
yes, so
You don't breathe. You can't sit there. You can't
so
just sit there.
I feel like how can you give God the glory or feel the presence of something that is supposed to be pure and whole and light, so that when it is shining from within you, it's whole. I heard that your body, all your chakras have to be in line in order to have a glow. That's science. Like your whole aura, your state of being, from your digestive system flowing right, that your heart and your mind are on the same hertz of beating,
Right.
that you feel one, and they said within that, in that realm, you won't care for the material things of the world. You won't care to be jealous. You won't, because you'll feel the wholeness that
Sounds like
you
a
are
spiritual
whole
awakening.
with your health, mind, body, and soul. When you're whole with those things you will know the things that God's given you. You won't have to worry about getting out here or getting on there for the likes or doing this, and this. You're going to move, and the people that come around you are going to be blessed by that encounter.
Right.
And that wholeness comes from being whole. So I was sitting there like, I always wondered like, how are we mind, body, and soul? How are we one with God when we're not even one with ourselves?
Yeah.
Your body's off. If you're, and I always talk about like serotonin and cortisol, and if your body's pumping cortisol and it's stress, and it's killing your cells, and it's
Right.
causing heart disease, and it's weakening your heart, it's growing cancer cells, and as you get older, 65, and time starts because now your body's constantly, your heart is off from they say your heart and mind be supposed to be on the same, and they said that's where depression and anxiety, and you just don't feel right, and you just can't get right. That's an unchemically balance that you feel this shuffle. So now your body is pumping this cortisol, and it's pumping this like stuff through your blood that is killing you over time. And here you can't get right. And then there's some people that have to get medicine to keep it balanced, where here only thing you have to do is start eating right.
Eat right.
And start doing extra things, and start mentally and consciously becoming and feeling whole. And it's not biblical, it's just being in line. It's biblical,
I think that's
but it's
human
spiritual.
nature.
Yes,
I think it's
being
human nature.
it's being in line to know that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do for your body. Like,
and with that, because I've been on a journey myself where, you know what I mean, I've been looking into different foods, and because we've been working out with this thing for years, and it's like, I drop, and then I stay, and then I drop, and then I stay. So I'm like, listen, I need to figure out a great, not even a diet, just a new regimen for my life. But I look at people, I'm like, yo,
so let me ask you.
We so used to being uncomfortable that we don't even care that we uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I've learned. This is what I'm talking to myself about. Like, you be so uncomfortable being uncomfortable. We ain't scared to do the things that you know. Scared, when I say scared, I mean you scared to work out.
Yeah.
You scared to go to a plant-based diet.
You
scared.
want to call it scared?
That's what,
that's
what I'm going to call it, scared. Or scared, whatever word you want to use. That's just the word I'm going to use right now. But you so scared or whatever to go do something that you deem uncomfortable, or deem that something, I don't do that. But you already uncomfortable. Why don't you just switch?
Yeah.
Because you already uncomfortable. Go eat something different. Go work out. Go be uncomfortable on a walk.
So
go be uncomfortable on a run, because you're already uncomfortable sitting there. but we don't want to change
So
that.
I like to, I have started trying to give solutions, right? And I think before we can get to that part of getting up to do something, we have to make time to unplug phones and
I agree totally.
have those conversations. Like, so let me ask you. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
We here.
When you said you was looking for things to eat, what have you looked up and wrote down?
So I've been looking into raw vegan plant. So that's just basically just raw fruits and vegetables. That it was originally I just wanted to do it for a cleanse.
Okay.
Just to reset
Can
my
you try
body.
it?
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
So it's just a cleanse because I'm like, bro, I don't like the way
Okay.
I can still get up and work out, functional, everything's cool.
Okay.
Just don't. Sometimes I wake up sluggish, my stomach hurts when it shouldn't. I'm like, yo, I need to fix this.
Right.
So I looked into the raw. I just was looking into basically plant based,
Okay.
and then I got to raw veganism, and I'm like, yo, this is actually. I don't have to cook nothing.
Okay.
I kind of like the fruits and
Okay,
vegetables
so-
raw already,
okay.
so it's not a
So
big
you
deal.
you are trying it right now.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, like, I will say 2 of my meals, which is breakfast and lunch,
Okay.
are just raw. They're just fruits and vegetables. My dinner, now it might have some meat in it, but it's mostly fruits and vegetables. But I just wondered to myself, and this is what I say to myself. It's like, bro, why are you so resistant? That's probably a better word.
Okay.
Resistant
Yeah.
to change
Okay.
when you're already uncomfortable.
Okay.
People, stop being resistant to change because obvious everything that I said I didn't want to do or things I don't do. I remember I said I don't run, I don't work out, I don't do this. Man, I got to eat my chicken.
Yes, yes.
Oh, this is nonsense. You're telling yourself
Yeah.
you don't have to do any of this
Yeah.
crap. You can live a great life and eat and still be perfectly happy
Yeah.
and feel good at the same time. Like
It's
it boggles my mind
It's,
that I've done it and that other people still continue to do it.
It's not something that is acceptable. I mean, it's not easy to accept. It's not easy to accept, and that's why I say it has to. I like to give a solution, and it first have to start with the self-talks have to be real. You have to. If no one can condemn you and no one can convict you, you have to condemn yourself. You have to
100%
look at
agree.
it to the simple fact of, and don't get me wrong, people can give God grace and praise for, yes, being alive in an unhealthy state. Yes, give God the glory, give him the praise that you're still walking, breathing,
But life
walking
could
up
be better
steps.
than that.
And, yes, and you
Life could be
got to
better
get
than
to the
that.
top of the steps and you're tired, or you walk down the steps and you need to sit down, or you have to mentally listen. When you got to build mental energy to go in places, or to hope nobody's looking at, like, you have to exert a certain type of energy. You have to build.
That's a trash life.
Yes, you have to
It's
build
trash.
a certain chemical emotion.
Yes.
You have to build a fence. You have to build a guard just before you go into certain stores. And then, or if you're at a weight where you get tired, you have to mentally come up and know you need the energy to walk through the stores. Like it's
sad and it's trash.
Yeah.
And I say this because I know y'all don't want to hear it from him. You're like, he's always in shape, man. You can't. I'm with the rest of y'all. But it's sad and it's trash.
Yeah, so-
It's not worth it, folks. We need to get better. We need to feel better. What he's saying, feel how you want to feel about it.
So,
And take the emotion and ingest it and say, oh, I'm so sad that it makes me feel. I don't care. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Yeah.
Because when you don't feel right and you can't function in life and you can't get up, I remember rolling out the bed and my back hurt.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I just got out the bed.
Yeah.
So I don't care how you feel.
Yeah.
Personally, me, I'm going to say I don't care. I'm not speaking for him. I'm speaking for me. I don't care. Get your ass up and do something.
Do you not understand? Like, I am. So we got a couple. Bits.
All right, my bad.
It's good. Now
We have-
listen. Cause we can come back here, and if anybody want to come on the show, you want to talk
Listen.
about what something I said, and you want to, we can have this.
Listen,
discussion.
and I got his back, so you're going to have to talk to us.
Nah, yeah,
We up here. What's up?
Listen, so right, so is it true, or is it looks like the majority of Christians are in despair? They are giving praise and honor to God for holding them up in their
For suffering.
self-made struggle, their self-made suffering.
Yes.
So we give all our energy and all our prayers to holding us up while we're sick. When you can make yourself healthy and give praise and gratitude and feel so much better, and then see the miracles, that's why people don't see the manifestations, and
Yes.
you can't manifest, you can't feel something, say something or speak something with your mouth and feel it in your heart when the feelings in your body is off.
Yes. You can't.
That's
It don't
mixed.
work.
It's confused. It's mixed. You can't give that type of energy because, see, giving energy to a manifestation, it has to flow.
Yes.
It has to get
You have to
stronger
let
as you
it
go.
flow, yes.
So it's not going to be just Monday, I'm praying I want this. So now you got to give the good energy Tuesday. You got to give the good
Every
energy
day.
Wednesday. You got to give the good energy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It might not be a month. It might
Saturday,
be. It might be a
yeah.
couple. It might be a couple. But you got to keep that
giving
energy
it.
to show God that I'm giving this good energy. I believe in this thing. This is going to come. I'm going to get this. People can't do that. That's why if you look, I'll show you a lot of people. I promise you, they still stuck. I'll show you some people sitting on the pew the same way, look the same way, house the same way, kids the same way. Everything is still the same. They're on a repeated loop. They're out of the hospital. They're in the hospital. Pray for it. This is going on. This is this. People saying this. This is that. And these are the believers.
Yeah.
These are the believers.
That don't believe
These
in
are the
themselves.
believers. So when it's not right within you,
Yeah.
I'll show you some people removing from the pulpit. I'll show you. And it be based off of if they got material things. And that's not the grace of God. That's not the blessings of God. That's stuff that money buys that any man can go get.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, we have, and that's why I kind of stepped away because I'm in this entirety.
Right.
You can't tell me about getting my life together and being whole and being righteous for God, and you don't feel whole and righteous
For
inside.
yourself. Right.
But that's my opinion. That's not fact on that as far as
Right.
the being aligned.
But I think it has a lot to do with it
I
because
feel like being aligned is being aligned.
when you are in a better state of health, even just working towards a better state of health, your mind operates differently. Doesn't operate in the same state of disdain and darkness that it once operated in when you was just sitting there eating cookies. That shit operates differently.
Yeah.
So it has to align. If it doesn't align, and you like, Pastor, you run up here and you like, you going to hell for this and you going to hell for that, and then you go back outside and you be like, we about to go to the buffet, but you going to hell for that buffet meal, brother. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to send nobody to hell, which I mean.
Yeah, I feel so. You feel what I'm saying?
Though.
So like, I feel like if we gonna be in line, it has to be all.
100%.
Off too. So.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, we
gonna wrap this
so
up.
We definitely got we got Webb.
No, we got some other guests coming soon.
Webb
Yes.
Williams coming on. We going. He's an investor.
I'm
He's
excited
financial
about that.
freedom.
Yeah.
He does what he wants. Then we got Carla Johnson coming on. Oh, I'm so sorry. That Carla Hill.
Yes.
With swag, and it's going to be. I definitely apologize.
Please don't, Lord. Please don't.
I don't like the smoke. I want no smoke from her. She's a classy black. I want black woman. I don't want no smoke.
No smoke,
but
sis.
yes, we gonna definitely get on here, man, and we thank y'all for listening.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another one, family.
Okay, you gonna take us out of here?
Hey, thank y'all once again
sir.
for tuning in to Quit the Cat podcast. I'm your boy BP alongside the Bishop.
Yes, sir.
We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all, and always remember, quit the cat. You dig it? Let's go. Peace of the gang, and welcome to Quit the Cat podcast.